Good morning from Yami B TV. Wishing you all well today. Sending splendid love your way as usual. Now, I was going to just talk about something completely different there. Plastered all over social media, being asked to do a piece on this, is the arrest of so-called ex-crime boss, Liverpool's Curtis Warren, right? House being raided by so-called British FBI. We'll get round to more of that in a minute, for breach of his license supervision conditions by an organization, crime agency organization body called NCA, right? NCA was founded in 2013. Before that, it was originally Soccer, another organized crime organization, but not Soccer didn't have the powers that the NCA got, though a very, very serious organization, Soccer, SOCA, right? So what do we know, right? We're not going to say we told you so on Yami B TV, but we did, right? It's been out 7 months, right? What we said was basically it's near enough impossible not to breach the license supervision conditions that they set out for Curtis Warren on his release. It got released, I believe, from Whitemore after serving 13 years of that lasting, and the bit before that, another 10 before, and a bit before that bit as well. All bits coming, some whilst he's inside, short releases, blah, blah, blah. So we know it's fair to say that they want him to spend as much time as possible for the rest of his life behind bars, right? It is astounding, the conditions. Let's talk about the conditions now. Normal license conditions for 90% of hierarchy prisoners and prisoners who are high risk, coming from the Cat A's or the B's, you will be subject to go on license with conditions. Curfew, not allowed to no-go areas, relationships, keep away from that person. Those kind of conditions, coach. So you serving your sentence, right? So if you get 2/3 of a sentence, you come out after 2/3, the remainder is done on license. Now, the normal conditions, as I just explained there, you can get breached for breaking any one of those things immediately, straight back to prison to do the remainder of your sentence until they decide if you're suitable to be released again and how can we stop you doing those breaches again. You cannot, on a normal license, get another court case brought to court and get another sentence on top of the sentence that you're on license for, which makes the conditions set out for Curtis Warren of the NCA remarkable, astounding, and absolutely, really, is a bloody liberty, because they are the only organization, as far as I'm concerned, that where you breach the terms of that license, different from the normal license, you could be going to prison for a maximum of 5 years. So, all right, you'd probably more than likely not get 5 years. You get 12 months, 18 months more. So the other important thing to remember, when you're on NCA under that agency there who are handling you as a person, there's not going to be too many people who are on this kind of thing. So that shows you where they've got Curtis Warren. That's not nothing we don't know. Basically, you're on NCA for life. You never come off it. Imagine that. Wow, days are numbered. It is really, really serious. So for those simple, so basically, they've got the chains and lock and feet. Whatever way we look at it, I'll stick my neck on the line. He hasn't committed a crime, right? Doesn't need to, as far as I know. They got the ump because they know there's possibly more money, allegedly. So they're driving him mad until he basically succumbs and gets weaker and everything. But Curtis, it's not going to work that way. So, right, so those conditions, any one of those can get another sentence on top, which makes it different, like I already explained, with normal license conditions. A bloody liberty. He gets arrested at Mrs. Smith's house, the lady prison officer from Franklin, where they must have been aware that they were still seeing each other. Remember, she got 2 years for, sexual liaisons, allegedly, and letter writing and that kind of stuff. As far as I know, she didn't get the 2 years for bringing in contraband like mobile phones and drugs and everything. There's a suggestion. They found a couple of phones in the car and blah, blah, blah. I don't think she got guilty of that. So she got guilty for falling in love with Curtis. Shows us again, the great so-called Curtis Warren is always going to have someone close. So they'll be shitting themselves that he's getting more information of her. She said, I never told him nothing. You know, I'm not going to set the cat amongst the pigeons. But come on, Curtis is going to, if you're in love with Curtis and he's in love with you, say, it does happen, Curtis will be asking you questions, mate. So whether it's proof or not, we're not going to lie on Yami BTV. She would have to be letting the cat out of the bag, right? And letting him know whatever, because that's the way, that's what I would do. That's what I've done. Now, so she gets 2 years. Remember, there was a suggestion that she had holes in her trousers and was going into his cell, and they said he was getting sex and all that. She pleaded guilty to all that. But she's only just got out. She must have got out at 221. I think she got sentenced in 220. So Curtis has got out when 223, 7 months he's been out. No, end of last year, early this year. Yeah, 7 months. Oh God, he didn't even see the year out. So they've joined forces. They're onto her. The neighbours are saying, oh, we didn't even know there was a man there. We knew who she was. So they saw cars coming in with tinted windows and that. So Curtis was doing the ninja moves late at night or whatever and coming there every so often. There's people coming up on other platforms to similar videos to this, saying, oh, he was living in a dingy flat, blah, blah, blah. No, it wasn't. It wasn't his flat. It's the girl's flat. And on top of that, if he was living in a dingy flat, it will be because Curtis will be saying, no, I haven't got no money. I'll live in a small council house that looks a bit dungeon. It's not a palace and all that. He wouldn't be coming out living in a big mansion and thing and all that, would he? Because, you know, they'd just be waiting to get the fuel to the fire with everything that they believe that they know, right? So they're going to drive him mad for the rest of his life. What do we say on Yami BTV? And we're not sticking up for so-called criminals, but it is a bit inhumane, really, for a man who served his time and served more than enough. But what a crime agency body. I've never, ever heard anyone could have that kind of power. When you get a set sentence, you can come under that ruling, and even on breaches, you could be going back with a new prison term to go on the one that you're on license for. It's mind-boggling. Sending loads of love to you all, and I'll be back up in a little while. Might be going away for the weekend. There's real news coming in that I might be doing a live session. I always let the cat out of the bag. I might be doing a live session with the Bloods and the Crips in America, lifers that have come out and blah, blah, blah. They've been asking for me, but I'll let you know how that develops anyway. And I've got another show to do, a smaller show to do on Sunday. Probably be back up later on. But sending loads of love to you. I just thought I'd break that to you about, you know, the sad case and, you know, what it means to be a so-called hierarchy criminal once they want you. But I've never known them to want anyone like they want him. Trust me, remember all the names we talk about, they didn't do it to them. Just shows you the levels to this game.